Uvacha Yuvanta Pravishya Mamavacham Imam Prasuptam Sanjivayati Akila Shakti Dharaswadhamna Nyam Shahasta Charanash Vanatvagadi Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tu Uvacha Yuvanta Pravishya Mama Vacham Prasuptam Sanjivayati Akila Shakti Dharaswadhamna Anyam Shahasta Charana Shravanatvagadi Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Dhruva Uvacha Yo anta pravishya mama vacham mam prasupta Sanjivayati Akila Shakti Dhara Swadhamna Inyam Shahasta Charana Shavanatvagadi Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation Dhruva Maharaj said, My dear Lord, you are all powerful. After entering within me, you have enlivened all my sleeping senses. My hands, legs, ears, touch sensation, life force, and especially my power of speech. Let me offer my humble obeisances unto you. Dhruva Maharaj could understand very easily the difference between his condition before and after the spiritual realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He could understand that his life force and activities had been sleeping. Unless one comes to the spiritual platform, his bodily limbs, mind, and other faculties within the body are understood to be sleeping. Unless one is spiritually situated, all his activities are taken as a dead man's activities or ghostly activities. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has composed a song in which he addresses himself. Oh, living entity, get up. How long shall you sleep on the lap of Maya? Now you have the opportunity of possessing a human form of body. Now try to get up and realize yourself. The Vedas also declare, get up, get up. You have the opportunity, the boon of human life. Now realize yourself. These are Vedic injunctions. Dhruva Maharaj actually experienced that. Upon enlightenment of his senses on the spiritual platform, he could understand the essence of Vedic instruction that the Supreme Godhead is a Supreme Person. He is not impersonal. Dhruva Maharaj could immediately understand this fact. He was aware that for a very long time he was practically sleeping, and he felt the impetus to glorify the Lord according to the Vedic conclusion. A mundane person cannot offer any prayer or glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he has no realization of the Vedic conclusion. Therefore, when Dhruva Maharaj found the difference within himself, he could immediately understand that it was because of the causeless mercy of the Lord. He offered obeisances to the Lord with great respect and reverence, completely understanding that the Lord's favor was upon him. His spiritual enlivenment of Dhruva Maharaj's senses and mind are due to the action of the internal potency of the Lord. In this verse, therefore, the word Swadhamna means by spiritual energy. Spiritual enlightenment is possible by the mercy of the spiritual energy of the Lord. The chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is first addressed to the spiritual energy of the Lord. Hare. The spiritual energy acts when a living entity fully surrenders and accepts his position as an eternal servitor. When a person places himself at the disposal or the order of the Supreme Lord, that is called Sevon Mukha. At that time, the spiritual energy gradually reveals the Lord to him. Without revelation of the spiritual energy, one is unable to offer prayers glorifying God. Any amount of philosophical speculation or poetic expression by mundane persons is still considered the action and reaction of material energy. When one is actually enlivened by the spiritual energy, all his senses become purified, and he engages only in the service of the Lord. At that time, his hands, legs, ears, tongue, mind, genitals, everything engage in the service of the Lord. Such an enlightened devotee no longer has any material activities, nor has he any interest in being materially engaged. This process of purifying the senses and engaging them in the service of the Lord is known as bhakti or devotional service. In the beginning, the senses are engaged by the direction of the spiritual master and Shastra. And after realization, when the same senses are purified, the engagement continues. The difference is that in the beginning, the senses are engaged in a mechanical way, but after realization, they are engaged in spiritual understanding. Dhruva Maharaj said, my dear Lord, you are all powerful. After entering within me, you have enlivened all my sleeping senses, my hands, my legs, my ears, touch sensation, life force, and especially my power of speech. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. The difference between material existence and spiritual awakening is that of darkness and light. Just like in darkness, Things appear to be very unclear because in the darkness things appear to be unclear. It's like in darkness. Everything appears to be quite confusing. Everything appears to be fear striking. But when light dawns on the same terrain, it brings along with it confidence, clarity, positive utility. Now, the point is this that many times people think about spiritual awakening to be an imagination or a phantasmagoria. They think, what is the spiritual awakening like? We have these bodies, we have to feed these bodies 3 times a day, we have to sleep. We, our body needs roti kapda makan. What is this imagination? Spiritual body, spiritual world. So many times people claim all that to be there for mythology. Imagination, they say, phantasmagoria, they say. It's too fantastic. In today's verse, we can understand. Uh, in today's verse, what we are seeing is an answer to such a kind of doubt people have, or a mindset which people have. So, what we are understanding is that that you see, spiritual awakening is like opening up of a machinery in itself. So we say spiritual awakening is like a day, and spiritual slumber, the state of sleeping, as which Srila Prabhupada is highlighting, is like sleep. So spiritual, so that uh, obsession or absorption in material consciousness is like sleep, slumber, and the spiritual realization is like the enlightenment, or the enlightenment like the awakening, the waking up, the awakening. Mm. So, for a person who has always experienced darkness, such a person will find difficulty, or such a person will find difficulty in accepting the presence of light, because one has only experienced darkness. So one cannot just fathom that when light is there, everything becomes completely different. Everything appears completely different. Like, say, for example, a very nice natural ambience, with trees and flower gardens and so on, a lot of trees and flower trees and deers and peacocks and all that. When there is night in that place, nobody would like to be there. People feel afraid. Trees, peacocks, in between fox may come also, so people will be afraid. And that all around you look around, there's only trees, and in the night there is no green, it's only dark. Is it not? There's only black. It's not green. No. So in the night there is no green. It's dark. So no one would like to stay there. No one would like to be there. But in the daytime, it's very exciting. You know, it's very exciting in the daytime. People would like to, click selfies. They would like to go for a picnic. Celebrate their festival. Their family gathering, outing, and all that. But would they like to stay back whole night? No, because same place, very exciting in daytime. Same place, very fearful in the night. Like that. So just imagine there is rustling of the leaves. In the daytime, the rustling of the leaves, very nice sound. In the nighttime, rustling of the leaves, one will feel palpitations. Oh, some ghost is coming or what? Like that. So this is a difference actually. A person who's only experienced night cannot just imagine the daytime. The same place can become, what to say, fearful. The same place will become adorable. One can enjoy. One can just frolic around, run around, no problem. And the same place in the night, because the same place in the night is very fear striking. Like that. So this is the point. So therefore, a materially absorbed, engrossed, obsessed person cannot understand this because they have no experience. So how do we understand what is light without the sun? Similarly, what is spiritual awakening? How do we understand without Krishna consciousness? Without inviting Krishna in our heart. Here Dhruv Maharaj is telling the supreme benediction of his spiritual practice and his austerity and tapasya was that the Lord Krishna entered his heart. The Lord entered his heart, and the Lord entering the heart, oh, it's like the sun. It lights up. It lights up all the darkened, the dark patches, all the dark terrains in one's heart, the dark, ominous terrains in one's heart. So just like, say for example, a laptop or computer. Now, the suppose the computer and the computer is there, very nice computer, a lot of good nice configurations are there. It is i9 processor, and it has 1 terabyte disk, and it has 32 GB GPU, RAM and everything and all that. Very nice. But the power cord is not functioning. So we're switching on the power, nothing is happening. Yeah. But the power cord is spoiled or damaged. So the power cord is damaged. The connection is damaged. The connection is damaged. Will this laptop be of any good utility? The computer be of any good utility? Nothing it will do. It will only show a black screen. And it will only show a black screen. Like previously, people used to watch television. So now everything is available in the mobile. uh, so previously, they used to watch television. Television, separate television set would come. And this television set, now what will happen is that most important in the television, the connection. For the connection, they would put a cable channel and other things, cable TV channels. People would pay and take the connection, and the connection is there. Hundreds of channels are there. You can watch sports, you can watch cartoon, you can watch movies, you can watch bhajans, anything you can watch. And now you can watch English, you can watch Spanish, you can watch Korean, you can watch Japanese, you can watch Chinese, you can watch Telugu, anything you can watch, like that. So, but sometimes what will happen is that if the suppose uh, the cable operator payment is due and the overdue it has happened, so he cuts the channel, Then he cuts the channel, what will come? Nothing will come, Only white and black dots will come, And a very noisy sound used to come, like that. Because uh, I remember many years back when we were small children, that time Doordarshan would also come in that way only. And it means what way? Doordarshan would have timings. It would start at 6 o'clock or something in the morning, and uh, yeah, it will start with bhajans. 1 o'clock afternoon it will end. then 4 p.m. it would start again, and it will go on till 9 p.m. or something like that, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So 1 to 4 p.m., if you know, open the television, only black dot, white dots will come, and after 9 p.m. also black dot, white dots will come, like that. And japa time also black dot, white dots will come, and so they would give time for japa actually. So, Mangalarti they would do in the television only. In Japa they would get time. 4 to 6 you can chant, like that. So that is the point. Now, for a person who is only experiencing white dot, black dot, or one who is only experiencing a discharged computer, and now one cannot even believe that, oh, in this computer I can talk to anybody, over Zoom. I can watch movies. I can hear. I can log into any site. I can do my banking operations. Everything I can do. One cannot even imagine that all these things are possible. Can one? One just cannot imagine. In the same way, people are not able to imagine what is the spiritual world. Krishna is dancing with the gopis, Krishna is playing with the gopas, Krishna is embracing the cows, and Krishna is playing his flute and Ter Kadam. What is this all being talked about? What is all this being talked about? And uh, so that cannot be imagined, because that is only possible with the connection. It is an outside connection. Just purchasing. Similarly, we see in a laptop also, if you want to do something good or tangible with a laptop, you need a Wi-Fi connection practically. So without that Wi-Fi, the laptop cannot do much. You cannot, no, nothing can we can use. So it will just be a storehouse of some files. Without the Wi-Fi, but with the Wi-Fi, it has infinite powers. Is it not? In the same way, now just imagine the Wi-Fi, the connection, is all external. Only when that connection is established, then there is amazing change. Similarly, we can see. So that is the point. We can understand. Similarly, similarly, just imagine a car which is just lying there. A car which is just lying there. What we can do in it? Just like I remember in our school, we had actually who was there? I think Mr. Manmohan Singh belonged to our school alumni. So he had become the defense minister, I think, once. No, before that, something like that. So he had actually gifted us one fighter plane, like that. Now this plane was useless because you can only go inside it and click a photograph, like that. Will it ever move? So no, so it's like that, no. So living entity without Krishna is like that only. No? It appears that everything is very sleek, just like in a fighter plane which is kept. Sometimes in museums also it is kept. These devotees in Melbourne also took me to some what was that island? Penguin Island. On the way there was this some place, and there were all these fighter planes and all that, U.S. Army and all that. The fighter plane useless. You can only click photographs on it. It won't move. It won't move. So, so it looks very sleek. It looks something, but unless it is utilized for its powerful purpose, it has no power in it. It is all futile. So similarly, human body appears to be very because it has divine origin. Not that human body is divine, but it has a divine origin. But only with divine connection it becomes empowered. Only with divine connection it becomes very empowered actually. So, uh, so this is what happens by the now this is happening in Dhruva Maharaj's life by the touch of the Kankshal of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is blessing Dhruva Maharaj. The touch of his Kankshal. Dhruva is getting enlivened, and he's telling all my senses have become awakened. In spiritual life, when we take steps forward, progressively we realize that how in our previous state we were simply in Maya. So one cannot understand one is in Maya when one is in Maya. Yeah, that's the irony of Maya. That's why we have to be very fearful of Maya, because if we go in Maya, we will not understand that we are in Maya. That is the biggest problem of being in Maya. Because if one is in Maya and one understands one is in Maya, you know, one can take a limited, top up time and then come out, you know. But when one doesn't understand that one is in Maya, then there is no coming going back only, because one there is no going back, there is no reverse trajectory, is it? Like a child has gone out of home, and the child understands that this is my home, so 1 hour, 2 hour will come back. No, otherwise parents will come searching for him, so he'll come back. But if one doesn't have idea that what is home, and one is so lost and forgotten, you know. So one is thinking the street is my home, the park is my home, everything is my home. So then such a person not go back ever, because there's no, where is the going destination? Similarly, and there's the biggest problem in Maya, that when we are in Maya, we don't understand we are in. You know, that is Maya. So when one understands that one is in Maya, one only understands one is in Maya when one goes few steps outside of Maya. Therefore, the devotees say, come this side and see the world from here. Take a few steps. So that is why that faith is there, that faith call, that come this side and see. From there you cannot see, but from here you can see. Similarly, just like we see before coming to Krishna consciousness, after coming to Krishna consciousness, before coming to Krishna consciousness, people are practically sleeping 12 hours. 12 hours. Yeah. I was myself frustrated actually. I remember in 12th boards examination and all that. I would sleep 9 hours, still I would feel sleepy in the exam. You know, yeah, no, I got 94%. That's fine. You know, but the feeling was sleepy. You know, and I would be so frustrated. What is this nonsense sleep? You know, after coming to Krishna consciousness, so nice. We don't have to sleep 6 hours. Also, 5.5 hours good enough. You know, okay, one can sleep six and a half, no problem. You know, but actually in 5.5 hours or 5 hours also one can run, fly, like that. And materialistic people, they sleep 10 hours and they cry. You see, so awakening, this is a very gross example of awakening, but awakening, it's so amazing, is it not? It is so amazing actually, awakening. So, and the nature of Krishna consciousness, the Krishna consciousness is so enlightening. So every step is like that. So similarly, we can see in every stage of our practice of Krishna consciousness. So if one is nicely and no, nicely and thoroughly engaged, one will feel very happy and very busy. That okay, I am very I'm engaged, I'm very busy. Just like say in our student center. Say students are second year, third year, they go to the college, for preaching. They have some 20 boys, they go chant with them. They go give some small class to them, give prasad to them, and they are very busy, and they're very satisfied, the same student, he passes out. Now he can no, the same student, he starts preaching to a whole college, where he was preaching to 10 15 people, was preaching to the whole college, a whole voice, like that. 4 5 6 years later, you see the same student. Now he is not just preaching to the whole college, he is in charge of the whole city only, he has six colleges, 10 colleges preaching to, like that. So how is it possible? And at every stage you will see the feeling is complete, as if I'm doing a lot of service, like that feeling comes, that I am doing the service to my full capacity, like that, full capacity. So if in the student phase it is full capacity, preaching to 20 boys, so how is it possible to preach to a whole college having 50 100 boys, so that means previously one was in Maya. Yeah. So that means previously one was thinking that I am very nicely serving, very busy and all that, but still there was a huge element of Maya. Some portion of it got again exposed or revealed, or some light came in that portion, and now one is able to do more. The same student is able to say so some of our student pass out, so now they're running temples, ISKCON temples. How is it possible? That means previously, you know Means previously also it was possible what is possible now. But progressively what is happening is that a person is progressively coming out of Maya. So person is training. So now the same devotees, they are running one temple. Some of them will become GBCs tomorrow. Like that, no? like that. So the point is that the no, so everyone can do anything for Krishna and unlimited for Krishna. But at every stage, one is thinking that I am thoroughly engaged, full busy, full pack, up to the neck, you know, like that, you know. And after 5 years, service doubled, up to the neck again, you know. After 10 years, again service doubled. So this is called as progressively awakening. So only when we come out, we realize that we had been sleeping. Only when we come out, we have been sleeping. The same experience comes by coming in touch with the devotees of the Lord also. Narada Muni explains that Uchishtalepan anumodito duja. So he's telling just by getting the Mahaprasad of the Bhaktivedantas and by serving them, I got a new life and I got enlightenment. And what kind of enlivening? From a little maid servant child, a little child running around here and there in the suburbs, he became Narada, the great Acharya, uh, the great Acharya who is especially expert in delivering hard knots and complex candidates, like that. So such a kind of awakening, that is the nature of spiritual awakening. Let's start here for today. Do you have any questions? Yes. Yes. There are oceanic visible characteristics between a spiritually enlightened person and spiritually non-enlightened person. Spiritually enlightened person will be seen in the morning program 4:30. The first criteria. Like that. So a spiritually enlightened person will be seen in the morning program in the temple hall 4:30 to 9 o'clock. Like that. He'll be visible. So more it'll be full enough nicely distinctly I mean visible like first characteristic you know uh, like that first characteristic. uh, Spiritually enlightened person, you will see uh, 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 person who is spiritually enlightened, such a person is always such a person is always enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness. Spiritual enlightenment gets accompanied by steady enthusiasm. No? Despite ups and downs, despite successes and failures. Prabhupada says that Siddhapragya, what happens to him? Success or no success. When it comes to service to the Lord, such a devotee is always daring and active, Prabhupada says. Daring and active. He's always enthusiastic. Even if one is failed, is still enthusiastic. Even if one is failed, one is still enthusiastic. So moroseness, disappointment, frustration cannot touch an enlightened soul. So one is all no, so one is not affected by the failures. One is not affected by so such a person will never be on the mental plane. You will see. An enlightened person has clarity, whereas a materially attached person is confused always, bewildered and confused. What to do, what not to do, when to do, how to do. That is for a spiritually enlightened person, there is clarity. So the spiritually enlightened person, his life revolves around Krishna. You cannot make him speak or hear anything other than Krishna. It's very difficult. So, but a materially engrossed person, very difficult to come to the stage of talking, thinking, discussing about Krishna. Like so that way. Like sometimes we talk tell our students maybe and okay association. Then they say okay how to associate with equals and how to associate with fellow students. Association means what? Come together and you tell what you have read and heard, and the other devotee tells what they have read and heard, and that's it. And after that, say Hari Bol, Vanchakalpa, and move. Why? Because so if that is not there, we'll see. And again, the devotees both are practicing, but they come together, they're discussing here and there things, mundane subject matters. So that tendency is very strong. And we have seen that the students, they do that. They have come together. One is telling what one has read and heard, other is telling one, other has read and heard. 10, 15 minutes, both are over. They don't have much talk. They don't have much talk. Ever like that. So, but you see senior devotees Maharajas, when they meet, 10 hours they can go on together, like that, discussing Krishna Katha, they can go on together, 10 hours they can go on together, they can go on together for days also, what to say of 10 hours, so bodhayantas parasparam, kathayantasya mam nishya, tushyanti cha, ramanti cha, yeah, tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. So they are enjoying and relishing, they are enjoying and relishing. So you will see that such a person, as soon as an enlightened person you see, when there is opportunity to, as soon as there is opportunity to absorb in Krishna consciousness, to speak here, such a devotee becomes very enlivened and can even overcome bodily limitations. Even if the body is not cooperating, such a devotee surpasses bodily gravitation and all kinds of gravitational pulls of the body and can overcome that also by the power of the spiritual energy. Why? Tushyanti Charamanti. So, so there is earth and sky of difference. In metal and grasped person, it is very visible, like that. That's why Prabhupada say that, that's when the Shastra is said. And materialistic people, you see, they are very dull. Their face, their mind, everything, their eyes, everything very dull because there's nothing. There's all darkness in their vision. Whereas if you see the spiritually enlightened people, their eyes are so bright, they are all even physiologically speaking, they're so radiant, bubbling with enthusiasm and energy, like that. Whereas like you see Prabhupada, proper servants could not match him, catch up with him, they had to have so many servants because one person cannot catch up with Prabhupada's speed. Prabhupada was 70 plus. What was his speed? Even 20 years old Americans could not catch up, that way speaking. So this is spiritually enlightened person, like that. Okay, so let's stop here for today. Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki.